where we finished up the day. Although I think, given the movement we had today, there wasn't really much suspense as far as where the market would finish up. But let's go ahead and get started. Good afternoon. This is Ifan from the Strategic Day Trader, and this is your market wrap for August 18th, 2022. Q's up 0.25%, SPY up about the same. Okay, you can see here on the Q's and on the SPY last few days have been very, very narrow ranges. Okay, so not only are we starting to slow down as far as earnings season, but market's getting kind of slow here too. Okay, so that doesn't really make that combination doesn't really make for the most exciting trading. Now there are things moving, but I thought today was pretty difficult and pretty boring at the same time. So what did we expect going into today? That as long as we stayed above yesterday's low, we were bullish. Now I would say today is a pretty neutral day. Didn't really move around all that much, but up a little bit. And the same goes for tomorrow. If we break below yesterday's low, all right, then we can start looking for a short-term pullback. Okay, but that's where it starts. Needs to break below yesterday's low. That's where the hourly is put in some support, and that would have to hold in order to maintain the uptrend. Okay. So that's still the key support point for me going into tomorrow is yesterday's low on the Qs here, 326.36, and then on the SPY here, 424.54. Okay. So let's get into the plays from today. My first play was the MNMD right at the open. Now the gap probably a bit too big, but I thought it was worth a shot. Gapping up just above the 200 MA there. Big gap up. Like I said, maybe a little bit too big. I played it just on this little bit of a pullback here. Not a fully formed buy setup on the MNMD, but I played it on that as it was taking out that bar. So I think a little bit aggressive, because if you had waited for 26 to get taken out, you would not have gotten triggered in. So I think also not only the gap a little bit too big, I think a little bit too aggressive as far as my entry goes. Okay, so MNMD did not work. Okay, that was the first play out of the gate. Did not work on the MNMD. I did have a call on the Wriggle. Okay, I was looking to play this. So I'll show you what the day looked like. This is what I liked. You know, the base here. We're breaking out above the base, and was looking to play over 176. Had at 177. I was going to use just low of the day. Here's kind of the 5-minute range that it established, 5-minute, and then I was going to play over that. Here's kind of sloppy, little sloppy, but didn't trigger. So that was canceled because it came in instead. CYBN was also canceled because that got pretty sloppy as well. I was looking to play this breakout right here, and then ended up coming in instead. Okay, CYB, and here's the daily. Daily was just starting to break above the 200. I like kind of the overall pattern going on here, coming from a higher low, trying to transition. We saw a lot of biotech today move up a lot and trying to transition. Probably the drug, probably the main one here that got everyone's attention. So the CYBN was canceled. And then the best play I thought today was this MVST as a scalp. I can see it's kind of actually moving up quite a bit here in the after hours. But just really nice, clean base breakdowns here on the MVST. So that was nice. There. This is the one I think probably most people played. And then level 2 was good. Until, yeah, this here, and then it started to kind of flip off the lows and wasn't good. But on this initial, when the trend was still clean, was pretty good. But, you know, as always with some of these scalps, it's hard to get filled. So I would have liked to have gotten more on this, but, you know, some of these things not within our control. So still all said and done, yeah, it was a tough day. Still down a little bit. Couldn't quite make it back. Just from that MNMD. So that kind of tells you there wasn't really a lot to do. And if you were aggressive, I don't think it paid off all that well. I saw a lot of things, things are always going to move day in and day out. Just not a lot of setups, right? I had 2 calls that both got canceled. And so really it was kind of waiting for the play, dabbling in some scalps. A lot of them also were kind of flippy. So I think really today, I think if you just did the scalps, I think you could have done okay and made out okay. And that's kind of what I talked about yesterday too, is that kind of going back to the mode that we were in prior to earnings season, right? We're getting less gaps. We're getting also the gaps that we're getting are not as good. And so there's going to be kind of fewer plays on that side. And then the scalps, like yesterday was all scalps. That was the entire focus. We went over those yesterday. And so that's kind of what I anticipated as earnings season winds down, is that we're going to shift kind of more to that. It's just hard to anticipate that market would be so range bound as it was these last few days. Okay. But, to keep it simple, we're following the hourly trend as we have been underneath yesterday's low. Otherwise, we'll stay bullish. Otherwise, if we break that, then short-term bearish. All right. Hope you did well, though, today. All right. And we'll be back at it tomorrow. Have a good evening.